ちゃんと仕事してたか？
今あれを直してた。
ああ、壊しちゃったやつか。
ごめんなさい。頑張って直しますから許して。
ちゃんと家づくりを手伝ってくれればそれでいいよ。
頑張って直す。
Noble Brink of Ruin episode 5. And first off, Chris, our wolf girl, our wolf waifu, finally she's here. I love her. I think she makes the show best waifu immediately. You know, best female protagonist, whatever, side character, whatever you want to call her. Like, she's one of the core harem members at this point. She's the best. I love her design. I think she's adorable. I think she's cute. I like the beast folk in anime. I love that she loves Liam. I think it's just like exceptional. I'm so excited that she's finally here. Since I've seen her in the ED, I think it was, I was like, okay, where's Wolf Girl? Where's our Wolf Girl? She's finally here. So she really made the show, or not the show. She made this episode of the show special for me. Now, one thing that I'm realizing very quick is, and here's the thing, when I want to give you guys like a caveat, I want to give you like a reason, is like, I understand as me, we watch the show. I think we all realize this is a very, mid show. It's a very budget show. It's not going to win any awards for its writing or its storytelling or its character arcs. This is just that feel good anime that you watch and you throw on and you eat your lunch, you do some homework, you play some Switch or some PlayStation or something, you're building in Minecraft as you're kind of watching this, whatever it is, dude. Like, this is one of those shows to where it's like, it's supposed to entertain you. It's not supposed to be thought-provoking, right? Like, it's not going to be like this season. It's not going to be like a Solo Leveling where you're really engaged, or an Apothecary Diaries, or one of these more shows that carry more tonality of it. Like, it's just, you throw it on and it's just a fun time, and that's all it's meant to be. It's just a fun anime to watch. So the reason I say that is, at the end of the day, this is like a 6.5 out of 10 anime. Maybe 7, on like when it's having really good episodes. But I think it's okay for it to be a 6.5 and still be like, okay, yeah, it's a 6.5, but like I'm being entertained at like a 9 level. Like I'm giggly, I'm smiling, I'm maybe laughing, whatever. Like it's supposed to be feel good. The reason I am saying all that is this episode did a couple of things, right? It's Liam establishing his nation. Another nation comes to visit him. Then the nation where Scarlet is a part of has representatives coming, and they offer for. I'll just tell you. Okay, I'm gonna come back to my feelings. They offer a hand in marriage for Scarlet to Liam for this newly established nation. He agrees. They give him a 1-year timeline, or he dictates a 1-year timeline to actually make this plot of land, this promised land that's in between these nations, viable. So then that way he can set up, trade routes and people and all the stuff that's going to come with it. Then he goes on to visit Scarlet, and we find about some armor sets and Rodon. The past dragon reveals that, yeah, at some point he had multiple armor sets that he would give to humans for, to help him during the Great Dragon War. So he goes on this tirade to go and be like, oh, armor, I can build armor. And then he goes and builds armor for Scarlet, and we find out that he has more, that he can use Rodon's past armor as well, which was that big-ass dragon that he found, that big metal dragon. And then next episode, he's going to continue his armor hiatus fiasco thing, because next episode is called Liam Tries to Make Incredible Armor. So that's next week's episode. So his armor obsession is going to continue, along with him continuing to establish his brand new, newly found nation, okay? So that's the things that happened in this episode. Oh, and then obviously the wolf people attacked, and then they were Rodon's followers, so he contracted with them, and he gave them names, and that birthed Chris, the best waifu. There was some pixie stuff. He got some more pixies and stuff. Like, there's little things that happened, okay? But those are the main events. What I have found is the show becomes unenjoyable And remember earlier I said, hey, this show's biggest win, the biggest Kobe, is when it's just being dumb, fun, enjoyable, and entertaining. I find, though, that this show is the least enjoyable when it begins focusing on the plot. And the plot is very loosey-goosey. So somehow he's already being recognized as a nation holder. Okay, it takes a lot to birth a nation. All he has is like a village of like 10 houses, but they're like, oh, you know, the next king is you. You know, obviously there's word of mouth happening in the background, and because he can wield such powerful magic, and, you know, the king knows of him already, and he has a good familial tie, so he's known already. So they see his potential. So they may be investing in his potential, not necessarily who he is at this specific moment, but who he can be tomorrow. And then he also fled off all those, invaders or whatever. So he was able to flex his magical muscles. So that's all cool and dandy and stuff. But it's just super, like, they're moving through the motions pretty quickly. So he's established a nation. Okay, how do you establish borders? How do you establish political power? How do you begin? There's a lot of pillars that have to fall before you can just birth a nation. Otherwise, you're just on unclaimed lands. How do you claim it? I'm sure there's a lot of things that go in with it. So the actual plot is very loosey-goosey. And so is Scarlett's, her undying love or commitment to him already is very loosey-goosey. I get it. She has dragon blood in her or whatever. That was passed down through her mother and her lineage and whatever. Like, I get all that, but she's being overly committal to him because at the end of the day, she's still the first princess of this other established nation. So first princess means, like, you're set to take over that nation. So if she can't take over the nation, then it has to get passed down to one of her siblings or whatever, assuming that there is any, which I'm not sure. So that presents another whole problem to it as well. And then Liam, our character, also has noble and familial ties to his family, but he was given barony or whatever. He was given basically grace, but then that kind of means he needs to establish himself politically. So it's like when you begin to think about like the actual plot, because it's so loosey-goosey, it's so very much like, hey, but actually don't ask questions. Just go with it. Just go with it. When they do too much of that, it's like, okay, I'd rather you not show me that much of the story. Like, I'd rather it just be Liam finds a village and Liam lifts this plot of land into the sky and he finds a village and, you know, make it less political in the sense of this world. Make it less like he's establishing, like he's going to be like the new king and emperor. Make it less of that and make it more of, you know, he's just finding a village. He's finding unplotted land. And then maybe he stumbles into making borders or surrounding them by magic. And now kind of how Rimuru does it with Tempest in the slime anime. It's like, it was more gradual. Like he put down roots and then eventually, like, because there was so much population, he then had to kind of grow out into other nations and stuff. So it's just the way they're doing it is very loosey-goosey. And it's very like, don't ask about that. Don't worry about that. Yeah, the princess is here. Yep, that's her master now. It's more everything just kind of falling into place. But like, if you pick and prod at it, it's like it just kind of falls apart. And because of that, it makes it boring and unenjoyable. Now, the enjoyments I'm having is the girls and the familiar contracts and finding more about the dragon and like all the stuff that doesn't necessarily have to do with like actual plot, if that makes sense. So I don't know. This episode was half, woo, Chris is here, Wolf Waifu, and the other half was like, oh my God, let's get past this already. So those are my feelings. Let me know yours in the comments. I'll see you guys next week for episode 6. Where hopefully we just get more focus on the fun versus the true story. And especially the bigger part of the true story stuff too is kind of like the thing that sucks about that too is as we get more true story or whatever you call it, we only have so many episodes this season. So it's like it's only so long. All right, I'll see you guys next week.